Hey everybody, welcome back from spring break, Fayetteville. I hope you were able to rest and relax last week, and we are looking forward to having everybody back in the class starting Monday. So I just want to take a minute. Some folks have suggested it might be helpful to answer some questions that people have had with regard to the upcoming school board election in May. Even though that isn't until May 18th, I think people are asking questions about just what is the school board up to? What does the school board do? And so I thought I'd take a minute to share with you what we are doing at the district now. I currently serve as the board president. I was elected to that role back in March of 2020. So that timing was interesting. It's been a challenge, but a good one. And so I just wanted to let you know, primarily what we're spending our time talking about right now is the investment of the $114 million that we gained through the bond restructuring that took place February of 2020. So right before, right before the pandemic struck. So back when we had no idea what the next several months were going to look like, Fayetteville approved the restructuring of some of our bonds that enabled us to gain $114 million that we have to now invest in our properties. So we've been spending a lot of time talking about how best to divvy up that money. Two of the biggest projects we've been talking about have to do with the construction of a new middle school on the west side of town that will be built on Rupel Road, just north of MLK. And it's at the second traffic circle north on the southeast side of the traffic circle. We have approved the conceptual design of that building back in December, and now the construction managers are working to formulate a timeline, a price for us that we will then approve. And once all of the different steps are checked off and we're able to finalize the investment of money there, we will hope to break ground late this summer, early fall. But all of that is just uniquely challenging in this time due to, as many of you are aware, just the supply chain issues that the construction world is dealing with during the pandemic. But that is the hopeful timeline. We do need to spend this money in 3 years. That's just part of the law. And so we're on a fast track to make that happen. But at the same time, being very thorough to make sure that we get input. We did take some time in the front end to really seek out the input of our students, our teachers, our families, what they wanted in this new school, what were their priorities. And so we're excited about that project. And then we are also spending a lot of time talking about the facilities north of the high school, the other side of Bulldog Boulevard. We are going to be remodeling the field house. We will be adding office space there, locker room space, new concession area, brand new restrooms for visitors and home guests to our football games, which, as many of you can attest, is well overdue. We will be adding some academic space in the field house that we can use for some of our CTE programs, and also possibly for testing, things that we tend to need to lease out space because of the number of students involved in those events. So we're going to build some space we can use for academic things like that as well. We're also remodeling the Bark, which is that building north of the baseball field, and adding some space on the back of that, which will have athletic offices, locker rooms, gymnasiums, and those projects will enable us to remove some buildings that will accommodate more parking. So I know that will be music to a lot of people's ears. So that big project has taken up a lot of time planning and thinking through priorities and objectives But those are two big things we're talking about. A couple of other questions people have had to do with curriculum. And so I would just love it if you all would take some time to send me your questions, and hopefully I can answer some of those through this video format. So send them to me in Messenger or just in the comments, and I'll try to address those down the road. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Have a great day.